And we are live. It's another beautiful Monday evening. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
Bro, honestly, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
A lot of yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
He feeling good. He had a good weekend, y'all. He had a good weekend, clearly.
I had a good weekend, bro.
That's all that matters.
No complaints. God is good. That
All the time.
holiday break is coming up.
That part.
Come on now,
Get to breathe a little bit. Sheesh.
breathe. Right, being off of work for 2 weeks.
Mm, must be a good feeling.
That's Christmas. That's my present to me this year.
Well deserved as well.
How you
Well,
uh how you holding up? How's everything in your household?
everything is good, man. No complaints. Thank God. Had a calm-ish weekend, so was able to kind of just kick back a little bit, relax. Um, but get right back to it. It's another Monday. Had to make sure I was productive. Got a lot of things done. Shoot. Again, that break is right around the corner, but my daughter gets off of school too, so it's not really a break much for me at that time.
Yeah.
However, it's another beautiful Monday, so can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Listen, that's what I love to hear, man. We here. It's back Mondays. You know what Mondays are. If you rocking with us, been rocking with us, we
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
y'all. Um, this is the greatest number one podcast in the world.
Number one.
Come on, we got to speak in existence.
Number
Talk
one. Let's
podcast.
go.
You heard? And this is well, you just main thing is we're really big on having conversations that's gonna move people forward. Okay, so I'm your host, Mr. Drummond. This is my co-host, my brother right here, Steve, and just two brothers, man, that just put a vision finally together, bro. After years of just prolonging and procrastinating about doing this,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Like, and I think
Mm-hmm.
just shout out to us just real quickly, man. Like, we just got to keep this up. It's the community, the people's coming, bro. And I look back at this journey and how we started last year to we about to approach 1 year, bro.
It's
Since we started this thing, dude. Like, it's
time flies when you're having fun. Ain't that what they say? It
it's unreal. It's unreal. It's unreal.
really is. It
But
really.
we thank everybody that's been with us along this journey, man. And we look forward. We look forward to just what we got in store. But to us focus on tonight. Again, we're the two hosts of the Talk That Shit podcast, where we have conversations that move people forward. And this podcast, we cover relationships. We talk about faith. We talk about personal development, and we talk about mindset, personal growth. So tonight is an actually personal one. I know I came up with the title for tonight, and it's called "When the Holidays Don't Feel So Merry." And we're gonna really talk about seasonal depression and really dive into what is seasonal depression. But before we do, quick disclaimer: we are not licensed therapists. Okay, we are talking about from our personal experiences. We're talking about from our personal perspectives, and we're just talking about just what we've been through in life. So I want to make that clear. If you're ever watching any of our shows or if you're ever supporting our podcast, we are not licensed therapists. So if you are in an emergency or you're going through anything that is very, very serious, please get the correct help. But if you rock with us and you love us, you're more than welcome. Okay. Before we start, please like and subscribe and share. We gotta
Mm,
definitely promote this more.
yeah, we need y'all help. Hold us accountable. Hold us accountable because we want to get the good word out. We got to keep these conversations going. So we we working on it, y'all.
Please share it, like it, subscribe it. Um, the goal, most importantly, the goal for tonight's show is to bring awareness about some of the emotional challenges that surface during the holidays. Because for some people, Steve,
Mm-hmm.
this is an amazing part of the year, and for other people,
Mm.
tough time. So let's get into it because we had a lot of talk. We talked behind the scenes about tonight's episode, and I'm actually looking forward to it because you and I both got different perspectives. But
Mhm.
to you, my brother,
Yes, sir.
what is seasonal depression?
Okay, yes. And full disclaimer, y'all. This is one I had to do a little bit of research on. from a personal perspective, like I've heard of the term seasonal depression. I've had conversations with people that talk about it, that have shared with me that they struggle with it. However, for me personally, I never felt like it was something that I experienced. So in order to properly give, some good insight on today's episode, like I had to put myself in the learner's seat. So I did some research and just kind of getting an understanding of what goes into seasonal depression. And from what I was kind of just looking into and learning, it boils down to um, a time of the year, and it's not limited to the holidays, especially. However, oftentimes it shows up in the darker months. So, like the winter season,
Yeah.
where people just experience a major shift in their mood. They may experience a lack of motivation, they may experience a lack of drive, and that's all, and a lot of it is tied to just lack of sunlight, lack of light itself. Again, especially if you're in New York, especially if you're in the East Coast. I don't know how it is in the West. I don't know how it is down south, but it gets dark at 4:30 nowadays. It's terrible.
30?
4:30, 5 o'clock, bro. You don't act like that. You from New York. Don't act like that. You know how I get. You know how I get up here, man. 4:30, especially after that daylight savings time starts to kick in. 4:30, 5 o'clock is dark outside. I remember I
Yeah.
used to get out of work when I was working at the bank, and the bank closed at 5. And I'm sitting at my desk. It's 5 o'clock. We lock the doors, and it's dark outside. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was tough. However, from the standpoint of seasonal depression, it's when, from my understanding, kind of just keep it simple, it's when individuals feel a great shift in their internal state, and that contributes, and that's attributed to the changing of the season, and just being in a darker time.
I like that. I like that you brought up season and also about being in a darker time, because I don't think we realize how important the sun is
Mm,
for our mood, our energy, right, our health.
hmm.
So when it is getting darker and it is getting colder,
Hmm.
that is, for a lot of people, you just kind of want to just lay around, right? You just kind of want to be under some blankets and some sheets, or kind of just call it a day. When the sun's going down, that means the day's come to an end. But when the sun's coming down and it's 4:30
Hmm.
p.m., that's that's people getting off of work. So I like that you kind of brought a science feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to do my research, but you said this was something that you felt like personally. This is something that you personally experienced and had
Yeah,
some like life experience with. So from that angle, outside of the scientific perspective or anything like that, how does it resonate with you? What is seasonal depression for you?
I would say it's for people who have either been through something similar like me, or who kind of around the holidays is a tough time for them. Um, it's like the around this time of the year, especially Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's like the world is getting louder about joy, but
Mm,
me personally it feels like my life gets quieter,
hmm.
because everything, like, from between the Christmas lights, the Christmas music, the commercials, the movies, you hear, social media, you see there's a time for people to celebrate love, happiness, gratitude. Approaching the end of the year, it's loud. But
Yeah,
for individuals like me, growing up, or who have shared similar paths, it's more of a quiet. It's more of a reflecting. It's more of a kind of wish things were differently. Everybody kind of handled their seasonal depression differently. I want to say that maybe I was diagnosed of it, but I know that I can relate to what the definition says and things of that such. Um, for me, it was personal. If we want to just kind of get right into talking point number two,
yeah,
um, why the holidays kind of trigger emotional lows for me, it was just family issues, dude.
yeah.
This is the time of the year where family is promoted at an all-time high.
That is
But
true.
what if that's not your situation?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? This is a time where everybody's schedule kind of just frees up, and you are surrounded by love, and you're talking about childhood memories. Maybe you and your family have a tradition that you do something, right? Some people take a photo at a certain place. Some people cook something. Some people do games and holiday games and those kind of stuff. Some people have large families. We all come to grandma's house in this one city, one state. Like that wasn't my situation. That wasn't my experience. So for us, um, I would say the closest we probably were, me, my siblings, and my family, is when we all first got to Brentwood. When we
Mm.
were like young, like under 10 years old, young. But by the time we got to middle school, everybody was kind of going their separate way. Everybody was either going to a partner's house, going to their friend's house, spend holidays. Um, Gifting and presents wasn't really a thing. Wasn't something us, especially as we got older, like something we wasn't buying each other gifts and stuff like that as siblings or especially like I said, once you got to high school, all that stuff kind of like stopped and ended. Um, uh, just family issues, right? If you're having issues with your family, why would you want to be around them during a time like this? If
Yeah.
that right, not to sound rude or messed up, but why would you want to be around when it's a lot of fakeness or bad blood or just attitudes or intention? You don't want to be there around that, so you kind of rather just be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the most peace of mind you're getting in those kind of situations. So for me, something that I started to do, which I'm changing that now in my 30s. I used to, especially when I was at a working age, I would pick up work.
Hmm.
One, you know, one for the OT, right? Holiday pay. But
Yeah.
two, like, I don't got kids. I'm not in a relationship. There's other people probably want to be off during this day. So I'll be the first one. Yeah, yeah, my boss, if you did it out, like I'll take whatever shifts, I'll work the double. That was kind of my way of trying to like avoid the feels around this holiday. I feel like I'm being left out. So for you, why do you think around this time it triggers emotional lows for people?
Something that I've heard when some individuals share is that, some people have experienced some traumatic events during this time of year.
Yeah.
It could be even to the point where you talked about like family issues, where it's like genuinely, I get it. If you not really in that close knit type of environment with your family, and families being promoted left and right, it could bring some type of emotion towards you. Or if you actually have bad blood with family, or if family has been the source of your trauma over the years, then that could be a space that brings you to those types of feelings. There are some people that have experienced loss during this time of the year. So if you've, you know, a loved one has passed away, or something that has very heavy on your spirit happened during this time of the year, I can see that as something that can bring some of those emotional lows. Something else that came to mind for me is indifference. And for me, I feel like I can relate a bit more to this one. I know during our Thanksgiving episode, we talked a bit about, what Thanksgiving meant to us,
Yeah.
and what it looked like for us growing up. And as we get deeper into like the winter holiday season, that was one thing for me growing up. Like my family believes in Christmas, and we celebrate it, but it was more so from like a religious standpoint.
Mhm.
So anytime I think of Christmas and things like that, just going to church is the first thing that comes to mind. And outside of that, there really wasn't anything that was happening often most of the time when I was growing up. So there's just kind of this indifference. After I get out of church, it just felt like another day. And so I feel like that in that space where you're not susceptible to, feeling jolly and happy and oh my gosh, we're gonna be around family, we're gonna be opening gifts and all of that stuff. Like I can see for me, that is something that I feel that can lead to some of those emotional lows. Like
Yeah.
just not having anything to motivate you to a positive standpoint
Makes
about
sense.
about that season.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah. So that's kind of how it resonated to me. Again, especially with the way that I grew up celebrating the holidays around this time of year.
Well, I like you said indifferences because again, this time around the year means different for a lot of
For
different families.
everybody, yeah.
is. So it's like you don't want to jump to any conclusions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Judge will be like, yo, why y'all don't like you just don't want to do nothing. Feel me? Um, man, well, honestly, this kind of we rolling right through this, brother. This kind of leads into the next question. What would you say is some common misconceptions that people, I don't even. First of all, for people that even know what seasonal depression is, what do you think is some common misconceptions about seasonal depression?
Yeah. And this was another one where I had to tap into that research just to kind of get educated on it.
Yeah.
Something that I found really interesting when I was doing the research on this was one of the misconceptions about seasonal depression is that it's just feeling sad.
Mm,
And the research, a big point that I recognized was that it's not just about being sad. Oftentimes it's being numb,
okay.
where, you just don't have feelings. You're not allowing feelings to come in. And instead of just being in just like a sad space or something happened or I'm just not feeling it, it's just, hey, I don't want to eat. I don't want to get up and move. I don't want to do anything. I'm just kind of numb to the days. And I found that really interesting because, that depression aspect of seasonal depression can kind of lead to this understanding, if you're not educated on it, to where you think people are just being sad all the time and
Yeah,
they bringing down the funk and they bringing down the energy with all the sadness and all that stuff. But to learn that that's genuinely not the case. It's not always just feelings of sadness that can contribute to that seasonal depression. It very well could be just feelings of numbness,
I
just
like
not
that.
feeling.
I like that.
Yeah, that was one of those things that I found very interesting. And I think another misconception is that there are individuals like myself who may feel like they've never experienced it. However, as I sat and reflected on it, for sure, when it's cold outside, when it gets dark at 5 o'clock, I don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I genuinely just don't want to be outside. I'm not as motivated to go out and do things. In the summertime, you won't catch me outside. I'll be out up and early. However, in the winter, first off, it's cold. I'm not a cold weather person, baby. that's not that's not my thing. That's not my thing. I'm not a cold weather person. So when I'm in that environment, it's like, okay, I really don't want to do anything. And then just being in a dark, just again, it gets so dark so early.
Mhm.
It gets so dark so early. I recognize in myself that in during the winter seasons, in the winter months, it's not common for me to just want to be outside just because. There has to be like an actual reason. Like I'm a nature boy. I like being outside and I like being in the sun and stuff like that. But in the wintertime, I'm inside. And it does weigh on me, honestly. Just being in that space where I can't go outside because I'm just not feeling like motivated to do so.
Who wants to be cold?
There are some people that like it,
Agreed. But I'm
strangely.
from your perspective, you like the summertime,
Yeah,
time you probably not gonna be outside like that, right?
exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, you know, you're a fall baby, so like you're not a winter. You know what I mean? You wasn't born. There's a lot of factors that play in this.
Nah, for real. Like I even catch myself record like in just like layman conversation. Like let's say it's the fall and people are talking about it. I'll catch myself bringing up the weather. Hey, it's the fall. Yeah, my birthday's in the fall, but it's like that means we just getting closer to the winter.
Uh huh.
Now I'm not looking forward to the winter, man. Nah, for real. So I think that's a really that's another misconception that some people feel like they just don't experience it. However, if you kind of open your mind up to how you genuinely navigate the winter month as opposed to the summer months, that could be something that helps you recognize, hey, you do experience some form of it. So I'm interested to hear, like, again, from you having in the perspective of someone who does have like personal, like stronger personal feelings towards this time of the year. What are some misconceptions that you may have come across in your experience or even in your studies?
So one for me personally is if you stay busy, you won't feel it.
Mm,
Previously shared that I would like to pick up work or like pick up OT double shifts at some of the jobs I was working throughout my 20s, but at a lot of these jobs, especially like at my time at the hotel with Hilton, um, at my time working at the gym, some really bougie gym called Lifetime. You get those customers and those members. It's like, hey, you're not celebrating, or like, you're not gonna be home with family. Like, why are you working? Or like,
Yeah.
just it gets lonely, right? Especially I did a lot of overnight shifts throughout my 20s, overnight type of jobs. So it was just like you think that me working, I kind of avoid the thoughts and the feelings, but sometimes you just end up going to it because you just get that one person, right? Or like someone sharing their experience. You're seeing people celebrating, and it can get to you if you allow it to, for sure. So I think that's one misconception. If you stay busy, you won't feel it.
Hmm.
The one is that I can understand I can understand the intentions if it's truly genuine, but
Hmm.
you really be careful saying this one. But you should be grateful. It's the holidays. You don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You don't know if someone just lost their dad, mom, or like they lost a pet. Like you don't know if they just got fired. Right? You don't know what
Yeah.
people are dealing with. So I can understand the intentions behind it, but you got to be careful when you say stuff like that because you don't know what somebody was brought to and how they was raised and how they was brought up. So just because it's the holidays and I honestly love Christmas music. I think it's one of the best music throughout the year, but you don't know what people are dealing with. So it ain't no different. I've heard when women say like, you too like I've heard women like say they get mad when men like say things like you're too pretty not to smile, right? Or like those kind of things. Like, and I can understand it now from this perspective. Like, hey man, you
Yeah.
trying to right? They should be grateful, and their mother was murdered by their uncle or some shit like that. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
You never know.
you really don't know. And I think that's a misconception because we think since it's supposed to be a jolly holiday Christmas, like the song goes, it ain't jolly for everybody.
Hmm.
It's not. It's just not, bro.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
more thing I want to add too. Um, I don't think people understand some of the financial pressure and stress that some people go through, right? And
Mhm.
especially if you're in a marriage, especially if you have kids, um, obviously balance is everything. But it's like every year you gotta like up one,
Yeah.
or you gotta like keep up with it, right? Because it's like kids. I don't care, kids, partner, spouse. If one year's super lit, then like the next two's rough, you're gonna get to them. We just
Hmm.
gonna we're gonna keep it funky, and it's like that pressure of just, especially as men, providers, leader of the household. If your finances is looking funny, or you not like knocking out some of those Christmas gifts in the months before,
You're gonna feel it.
it's gonna be stressful. It just is. This is one of the most giving times of the year, and if you don't got the money for it, or you don't like, or like just like that, it could be tough. And I know some people be like, well, your partner, kids, family, everyone should just be grateful, but people are human.
Yeah.
They might give you one year, a year or two, right? Mommy, daddy don't got it, but eventually they're gonna want some. And if for the people that have grew up in households where like they just know that parents don't got it doesn't mean that them kids or them people still not like not about it, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So
No, for sure. Phew, you talking about them financial implications, man. Shout out to the parents. Shout out to the parents for sure. If you got multiple kids, I know y'all feeling it.
my
Um,
photos with Santas, them shits ain't cheap in the mall.
shit is
That
done. She,
portrait not cheap.
mm-mm. Yeah, yeah, shout out to my lady. She had the beautiful idea of doing our own holiday pictures. She got the backdrop, you know what I'm saying? I had the equipment at the crib. We set it up. We did it right here because it's like understanding the time of the year and the stress. And the reality is these jobs not going to pay you more money just cuz it's the holiday season.
You know,
If you're not working on Christmas Day, you're not getting time and a half.
They're like, we know that Christmas is here. We're gonna give you guys an extra
You know what I'm
$1,000.
saying? Yeah, like I ain't never heard of that. If I heard of that job, I would have had to put an application in. But I've never heard of anybody tell me, like, yeah, it's the holidays, it's the holiday season. Our job is just giving us free money. That's not
No,
how it works out here, man. That's not how it works. And if anything, it's like I remember working when I was working retail. This holiday season, yo, it's busy time of the year. It's
mm-hmm.
a very busy time of the year. So you're working maybe twice, three times as much and
Mm-hmm.
coming home tired,
Yeah.
exhausted. And so if you take that, like that was one of the things I saw in the research is like, you know, seasonal depression itself isn't always tied to the holidays specifically. However, it stacks on top of these things.
Yes, it
So it's
does.
like you have your feelings about the holidays, and then it's getting dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock at night, and then you have financial pressures, and then there's so many things stacking up that it leads to this point where you just feel overwhelmed to just be at this time of the year.
So you get home, you want to sleep.
You just get home and you want to sleep, and I can't blame you. I cannot blame anybody for just wanting to go home and go to sleep because it seems like every time you is while you up, there's something to deal with. It's
Yeah.
not anything. You don't even really get to relax or enjoy the season itself. So I definitely feel for those who experience that because it for sure just stacks up, stacks up, stacks up. And then there's people that have expectations of you.
Mm,
This yeah. I don't know if y'all got family that might look at you sideways if you don't get them a gift.
bruh.
Mm.
Man, the minute you do one thing or you go crazy one year, they like, oh man, this how Christmas gonna be every time we going to Steve's house.
And that
Right?
next year is not hitting, and you sound like them SpongeBob background characters. Oh, this guy stinks. This guy is terrible. Yo,
So it's bruh, listen, it just this is not a time to assume, right? You never know what people are dealing with and what they're going through,
yeah,
and just gotta really be careful with those kind of things, bro, because everybody got different experiences.
nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a big
Everybody got different experiences. Knowing
yeah,
that, we talked about like some of the triggers. We talked about misconceptions. Um, what do you think? What do you think, or what would you do? Like, how would you support somebody that is going through it during these time of the year, right? Or maybe they have seasonal depression, right? Or maybe they don't enjoy the holidays. Like that's me. I'm this somebody. Like I was the
yeah.
Grinch. Care about the holidays, knowing I did care about it, but I made myself not care about it because due to my upbringing.
Hmm. So that's I really like that question, and it reminded me of I was actually watching a podcast a couple weeks ago where a few brothers they was having a conversation with someone who's a licensed therapist, and they were talking about seasonal depression. So I had to do some digging. I was like, yo, this is right on time, this is right on brand. I had to go do some digging to find that clip. I definitely want to play that clip real quick. Hold up.
Those who suffer with like seasonal depression, what insights or tips would you give them to like make it through? Because I didn't notice until the last couple of years, like suicide rates go up around holiday time, depression ticks up. Like, what, as a therapist, what insight would you give people who may be going through seasonal depression to talk them out of doing something to harm to themselves?
Get around people. Get off that couch.
Yeah.
I hate this daylight savings, man, because it's getting dark. Like, we was just in New York yesterday, and like it's getting dark in New York like 4:30.
4:35. Yeah.
Facts.
I couldn't imagine, bro. Like like at 4:30, it feels like 8.
Yeah.
And you think you going in the house and you shutting it down. So I would highly encourage people, stay out as long as you can, engage with people. If you don't have community, build it. And if you want to build community, it's going to require you to be a bit open. It may be with people that are not your family.
Yeah.
And that's challenging because everyone thinks that, everybody has this, and all families have issues, but sometimes the holidays is not the best for people because of the fragmented issues and challenges with
family.
So I often tell people, you hear somebody say happy holidays, it's like, you know, everybody holidays is not happy. You know,
Mhm.
it's usually the worst time. If you have somebody who lost a mother or father or a loved member during the holidays, that can be challenging because you're now commemorating their memory, the loss of grief. If you went through a divorce during the holidays, if you went through a breakup. So because the holidays, you know, there's so much alone time because, you know, you get a week off from school during the holidays, during Thanksgiving, and you got the time off during Christmas. It's a very scary time for people, man. And lastly, I would say, if you know, I know the weather's different for everybody, but stay outside as long as you can.
Yeah, this is the one time where I'm like, go outside. Like November through January,
Yeah,
go
because
mingle.
that vitamin D deficiency, man, particularly for Black folks, it's real. I'd take more of vitamin D because you don't have the sunlight, you have less sunlight, you know, in those winter months. But I need to get as much daylight as I possibly can.
So I want to ask you, from hearing that perspective,
Yeah.
and again, that's someone who is a licensed therapist talking about um, some of the ways to combat that seasonal depression. How do some of those suggestions resonate to you? Like getting outside, being around people as a way to kind of get out of those feelings.
Definitely, I can say being around people because again, I done been to so many different Thanksgivings or so many different like Christmases at friends' house, whatever girlfriend I was with at the time. It is right, like being around other people, even if it's not your family, can help. I think you got to kind of fight those inner voices in your head because like at times you can, at times I would catch myself like, I appreciate this. I just wish it was like my thing,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And or at times you're like, I appreciate this, but like I'm outside, right? Because everybody, you know, I'm the friend of the guy that's family this is, or I'm the boyfriend or whoever girlfriend this is. So by the end of the day, like, you're just gonna be people open arms, and some people's gonna be open arms and loving, but you the outsider
It's
technically.
different. Yeah, it's different.
So definitely get outside and mingle if there's like events, right? Holiday parties, like definitely want to get involved and do those kind of things. Um, I know my area they do a lot of like Christmas trees and like some of the bars and lounges are like very Christmas themed like, and I plan on popping out to them. You know what I mean? Just to go mingle, meet people, just to kind of be around other people. And he's right about that. Like um, as human beings, we need conversations. We need love. We need attention. We need affection. We need dialogue.
Mhm.
Spending the holidays by yourself alone, and it's getting, like he said, getting dark very quickly in certain states and cities. Um, it can get a little depressing. So getting outside, connecting with people, I believe is very helpful, and I know that's definitely been majority of my life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I could feel that too, because my girl, she's very big into the holidays, and so she's always got her eyes open to like what are some of the events that's going on. And like we actually went to an event last Friday, and it was really good to kind of just be in that space. We got there and it was a fairly sizable event. Like there was a lot of people outside, and even while I was there, I got some inspiration, like from a professional standpoint, to be like, hey, you know what? These are really cool events to be involved in, because that could open up avenues for different types of connections and
Yeah,
wanting to get, involved in some of the local organizations and things like that. So if again me, I'm the type that, especially when it's cold, I'll stay inside. That's not a problem for me. And so just getting outside and just being in that environment can kind of rewire your
yeah.
brain and help you open up and see different opportunities to that. So I definitely agree with that as well, for sure.
Oh yeah, oh
For
yeah.
sure, for sure. So
They
what, yeah, go ahead.
no, he was speaking facts in that video.
Yeah. So what would you say are some of the personal, like from your personal perspective, what are some ways that you would help someone that may be struggling with some of that seasonal depression?
First one I would say is don't take it personal if they want to be alone.
Okay.
I've actually went through that. Rejecting somebody's like offer to come spend Christmas with their family.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, don't personalize it. Don't make it about yourself. Um, I've had it thrown in my face where it's like, don't say that we didn't invite you, but it's like, if you want to be by yourself, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't gotta do all that, right? Like I've gotten that in the past. Like, you're literally doing it to yourself, bro. Like, and it's like, I hear you, but you don't gotta say all that, right? Because again,
Yeah.
I'm in my own thoughts for many different reasons. Um, and a check in, check in is cool. I think, like, even if we don't seem like we appreciate it, we do. Um, you know, you try once, cool. If it don't work, you try again, cool. But when it's like 7, 8 times, it feels like you're suffocating them.
Yeah.
You don't want to guilt trip somebody or those kind of things. And in some cases, like, yeah, sometimes you got to drag somebody out their bed and be like, no, you're gonna come spend it with us, right? But you kind of also just get better at reading the room. Um, so don't make it personal if they're not in the mood. And then the other one is respect their tradition, respect their experiences, because again, I've been in the shoes where it's like I'm the odd man out because I didn't know a certain holiday game, or like y'all don't do this, like you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, dang, like your family never. I remember those, right? Eh, that's not really supportive. You're just
Mm-hmm.
being right. You know what I'm saying? Like, could come off very judgmental. Could come off you singling somebody out. You'd be surprised. Like, yeah, I don't know certain things because we ain't never did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could be that person that teaches it to me. But if you down on me and you joking on me and clowning me, like, how you don't know
Yeah. I'm not even gonna want to.
this, you just reminded me why I hate this time of year.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So respect their traditions, respect their experiences. They don't know something. Be that door that opens them to that experience.
Yeah. I really appreciate how you said like don't take it personal if they just kind of want to be alone.
Bro, I've witnessed that a lot.
I really appreciate that. I can appreciate that for real. Because it's not about you.
It's not. But you start feeling bad, like, dang. Like I said, I've been told, like, bro, like, don't say that nobody invite you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be by yourself, bro? Like, then be by yourself. Like, you doing it.
Yeah. Like you said, that guilt trip, that guilt tripping. And that doesn't make you feel better about that doesn't make you feel better about the time. It doesn't make you feel better about the time though.
Yeah, bro. I've been hit with that. You know how Dorian is. Like, he just want to be by himself, let him be by himself. You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason why I don't want to come. Like, I'm not comfortable.
I'm not trying to deal with all the BS that people be pulling up with, man. And people be pulling up with some BS
You
for
feel me?
sure. For sure, for sure. Yeah. Now I seen in the chat, shout out to Gracie. What's up, Gracie? She wrote that she took her kids to a Rudolph play and had more fun than them. That's that's fire though. That's fire. I love that.
This is
And
fine.
again, yeah, it's like yo, again, just finding those ways to kind of get over it, to kind of, to deal with it, to approach it with an
Yes.
open mind and an open heart.
Yes.
I feel like that's definitely helpful. That's definitely helpful. Um, Again, me being in a position where I didn't have much personal, by my definition, originally, much personal experience with the seasonal depression. However, also being around people who do, being around people who do something that came to my heart when it came to how to support them was don't minimize their feelings, don't minimize their experience. Yeah, I feel like that's something, honestly, year round, year round, you should always be in a space, especially as we're having these types of conversations. If you're in this space, you want to have conversation that move people forward. And part of having effective conversation is allowing people to feel the way they feel. You know what I'm saying? There's a process afterwards. However, we shouldn't be so quick to minimize people's feelings. Like something that I heard come up is like, everybody gets sad in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not everybody. You don't know what my specific experience with the wintertime is or what this season is. And so being diligent and intentional to not minimize people's feelings, I feel like is one great way to support those who may be struggling with that season of depression. And something else that I came across this one in my research, which is honestly, this is some really good overall advice as well. It's like, I know a lot of people travel for the holidays.
Yes.
And so working in like planning a recovery day into your travel plans.
Yes.
I saw that one. I was like, that's really good. Because I know for a fact, even in the summertime, when I'm outside for sure, if I'm traveling, I like to get back at least a day early and take that extra day to just recover.
That's good.
So I can only imagine how, those who may have a certain, who may feel a certain way about a time of year. Hey, traveling can be stressful. Traveling is
Very
stressful.
Very.
Heck yeah. Traveling is very stressful. If you driving, you got to deal with traffic and leaving on time or all of that other stuff. If you flying or any type of way, you got to deal with all types of things along the way. All types of things along the way.
I can imagine, bro.
Yeah. So kind of working in that recovery day and planning for that is a way to help support someone who may deal with that tough time, just to give them a bit of space.
Yeah.
Space.
That's good.
I think, yeah, I saw that one. I was like, oh yeah, that's a real good one. I gotta shout that one up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man.
It's a different type of draining, bro. Like that itis hit differently when everybody leave. It's one of those things where it's like you clean up the house the next morning because you that tired. Like the dishes will stay in there, like just later.
Nah, I know that feeling for sure.
It's a real house party shit. Like
I ain't even trying to deal with none of that, man.
We get to that tomorrow.
We'll get to it tomorrow.
You know what I mean? Nah, that's beautiful. Yeah, hosting's tiring too.
Whew. And I like to host.
Listen, I love to host, but I don't think we realize and understand how much comes with hosting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These Friendsgiving, these holiday parties. Like I did one last year. I had coworkers came over. It was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the worst part is when everybody leaves.
Everybody leave and that mess is still there. It's still there.
Motherfuckers can't even be like, hey, you want us to kind of like help?
They like, nah, we came for the party. That's what we came for.
That's it. We out. Deuces, right? They want you to walk them to their car and shit. Outside in the cold.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, could you just have a good one, get home safely? When you come back in the crib, you see everything everywhere, and you're just like, I'll do this shit tomorrow.
I'm going to bed. And I can't blame you, man. I can't blame you.
That's it, man.
Yeah. And I appreciate this topic because it's something that's very real.
Yes.
Let me say that. Is definitely for sure real. And again, just from the perspective of, it's getting dark out. At 5 o'clock, it feels like it's 8 o'clock. I'm just tired. And so just even being mindful of those who actually have additional reasons that on their stack of reasons to feel down when it comes to the holidays, So I really appreciate that because it's a reality for many people.
Yes, it is.
It's a reality for many people. And in the clip, The gentleman, one of the gentlemen in the clip mentioned that like suicide rates go up.
Yeah, bro.
So so we can see that this is something that's affecting people deeply. It's
Yes.
affecting people deeply.
It's no joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. Yeah.
Hey, man. How y'all feeling, man? Chat, talk to us,
Yeah,
please.
for sure, for sure.
Right.
Like if anybody deals with it, feel encouraged. This is a space where we want you to feel encouraged to share some of your insight and some of your experience. Again, shout out to Gracie. Gracie leads with that vulnerability, and that's such a superpower, in my opinion.
Very superpower.
That's a big superpower to me.
And this is
So
why we team Grayson.
that's a fact. That's a fact. And so it's like we want to encourage y'all to like, comment. What are some of the experiences that you may have gone through? What are some of the things that helped you kind of overcome and deal with these challenges of the season? Because like the title of the video, it's like the holidays aren't merry for everybody. The holidays don't feel so merry all the time.
It's not. And I think the more and more people get more knowledge and educated on this topic, the more it can increase awareness.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, there's people that don't they gotta work, right? Bus drivers, hospital workers, police officers.
Mhm.
List goes on and on of people that can't take off
Yeah.
today.
Essential workers, man.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like shit. Just definitely spread that joy, be that love, but be open minded. You never know what someone's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what time it is.
It's that time. It's that time, y'all. It's that time. You got something. You got a shiny gem for the people.
No, mine's is kind of regular.
Yeah.
Mine,
Allegedly. He says that every week, y'all.
no.
He says that every week and then gonna drop a bar that have you thinking about it the whole week. All right. we not letting you get away with it this time, Drummond. We're
Hey,
not
man.
letting you get away with it. We see through the antics.
I was gonna just say, you could be the reason why someone's holiday is merry this year,
Mm.
right? You can be the asshole, the dickhead. You can be the piece of shit, or you could be the reason why somebody smiles today. You could be the reason why somebody like this time of year is a little better for somebody, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's an invite, whether it's doing something sweet, whether it's giving them a Christmas card with a you got a coworker that just lost their partner or lost a kid or something, like be the reason. It doesn't cost much. You don't even have to spend money. Just be the reason why somebody's holiday is merry this year.
Yeah.
And I would say, check up on the people that are fighting silent battles. Check on the people that are going through divorces and breakups and those kind of things. Check on the people that parents that kids are finally moved out on their way.
House. Yeah. That's another unhidden.
Check up on the grandparents, bro. Like,
Ooh.
you know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Grandma, like, that's slowing down. And, like, maybe you're not going to the house this year. Or maybe you're not in the mood to pay for their flight or go pick them up. Like, just check up and be the reason why somebody holiday is married this year.
Mm-hmm.
Told you, ain't nothing crazy.
But that's real though. That's real. That's a big one. I'm glad you mentioned that too. Like checking up on the people, like parents who are older parents where their children leave the house, or grandparents. From what I'm seeing from the grandparents around me, they just want to be around family.
Just want to be involved, bro.
They just want to be involved. They just want to be in the sauce. Not even to like put their 2 cents in, some time or anything. They just want to be in the space.
Want to know what's going on.
They just want to be involved, man. And so, nah, that's a big one. Just being intentional about keeping them involved, for sure. Yeah, that's real. And my gem is another calm one. It's a calm one as well. It's one that I've heard many a times, and it aligns similar to what you had shared about kind of just being that reason. And it's just, be kind, because you never know what people are going through. You never know what people are going through. So
Yeah.
be kind. You know, Again, shout out to Gracie. She dropped a comment in the chat, feeling inspired to share with some of her friends what's been going on instead of faking a smile and just disappearing.
Come on, Gracie. That's what we're talking about.
You know, it's like these are real reactions that people have. These are real, you know, these are real outcomes that people choose, because they may not feel safe enough in a space. And so your kindness can now create that safety.
Come on.
Your kindness now creates that safety.
It's through kindness that people get a little bit more comfortable, man, and get a little bit more vulnerable. So be that,
Oh,
bro. Just
yeah.
be. You got a few more weeks before the year's over. Be that reason somebody smiles or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. See the mailman, say something nice to the mailman, man. Like, it don't hurt.
And that it never hurts, man. Yo, before we break out, it just brought up a story. This was a crazy night, just from a psychological standpoint. I remember I was on my way home one night, and nothing crazy had happened. Nothing had happened. I remember I stopped and I went to go get some gas, and there was just some heavy feeling on my heart about I'll just be straightforward with it. I'll just be honest. I just felt a strong feeling of like myself passing away that night.
Damn.
I don't know why. I don't know what it was.
I like we're just going, bro.
And I stopped to go get some gas, and there was a gentleman behind me doing some gas as well. And the thought in my mind was just like, yo, if this happens to be my last night for whatever the reason may be, how do I want to spend it? How do I want to deal with that last night? And I was like, I want to lead with kindness. And so I told the gentleman behind me, some stranger, don't know this dude from a hole in the wall, y'all. I was just like, sir, I don't know how your day may be going, but I just want to say, I hope you're having a great night. I hope you're doing well. And he was just like, he was confused. Naturally, he's just like, do I look like I'm not having a good night? Like, did you see? I'm like, nah, I don't know anything. I just wanted to share that bit of positivity. And I could see him kind of just pause and reflect on it in that moment. And then it just kind of like, just through his body language and his facial expression, it just rested. And he just like, I hope you have an amazing night too. Thank you so much for that.
Mm.
Like, I don't know what that could have done for that dude. I haven't seen homie since then again. But you never know how far your kindness can go.
My brother was sleeping on the couch. That's what I was going through.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You never know, bro.
You never know, man. You never know. And it be the people that be smiling the hardest that be going through them battles.
This is the perfect time of the poker faces around this time of the year.
So spread love, spread kindness, y'all. To me, that's the real meaning of the season.
Amen.
The gifts is nice. That's cool. The shiny things are cool. But how do you make people feel?
Amen.
How do you make people feel? Yeah. And with that, we just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of y'all for tuning in to the Talk That Shift podcast, a space where we have conversations that move people forward. Your presence, for sure, truly shapes this space and allows us to have these conversations. So we want to encourage you to, again, like, subscribe, comment if you have any type of feedback or insight that you feel is valuable, because we believe your insight is valuable. So feel encouraged to comment and like and subscribe. Share this with your loved ones. Spread that love, and make sure that you back here next week, Monday evening, for another episode of the Talk That Shift podcast, where we have conversations that move people forward. On behalf of Mr. Drummond and myself, we want to wish you a beautiful evening. Beautiful, beautiful evening.
Appreciate y'all.
See y'all next week.